Our next historic speaker is Margaret Sanger, an activist best known for coining the term birth control. Born in the United States in 1879, Sanger was a sex educator and nurse who opened the first birth control clinic in the United States and established organizations that evolved into the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Sanger's commitments were inspired by witnessing her mother's early death, which Sanger attributed to her giving birth to 11 children and having several miscarriages, as well as through her experiences treating women who had undergone back alley abortions or had tried to self-terminate their pregnancies. She objected to the unnecessary suffering endured by these women, and she fought to make birth control information and contraceptives available. Today we draw attention to her 1937 speech, Women and the Future, in which she discusses the importance of women having control. Performing as Margaret Sanger is Becca Greene Van Horn, a drama therapist, teacher and coach, and former professional actress, singer, and dancer. She has taught for over 25 years in New York City and locally, and is an adjunct professor in drama therapy in the Lesley University graduate program. She has played several roles in the Valley and has previously performed as Margaret Sanger in Serious Plays Company's production of Jessica Litwack's Snake and the Falcon. She currently directs the Act Smart Improv Company, which is made up of teens using drama to address bullying and other issues, and Youth on Broadway, a full-scale musical theater review for 4th through 12th graders in Amherst. Transporting us to 1937 is Becca Greene Van Horn as Margaret Sanger.
We can today, with some measure of clarity and hope, talk about woman and the future. It has been a good fight, but a long one. In 1873, Congress passed the obscenity laws, prohibiting the use of the males and common carriers for items which were considered lewd and obscene. It was made a crime punishable by $500 fine or 5 years imprisonment or both for anyone, even a physician, to send contraceptive information or supplies through the mail. The birth control movement has spent years of effort in rectifying this mistake. It may be hard for you to realize, but at first it took courage for a member of Congress to come out openly for birth control. Hearings were held. The press gave it support. 100,000 individuals and 1,000 organizations placed themselves on record approving of what we were trying to do and pledging their help. A decision handed down on November 30th, 1936, comes as a result of the support of organizations such as this federation. Its design, said the judges, was not to prevent the importation, sale, or carriage by mail of things which might intelligently be employed by conscientious and competent physicians for the purpose of saving life or promoting the well-being of their patients. With the tangles and confusion of the past cleared away, we can now look ahead. For up to now, a woman has been a victim of her own powers of reproduction. It has been the comparatively few and more fortunate who have known how to have only as many children as they could take care of. A small fraction of all women have known how to make motherhood a matter of conscious and joyful choice. I will not speak today of what needs to be done in far countries in China and India and Japan, nor will I speak at the moment of Italy and Germany, who are being prodded and cajoled to produce cannon fodder for future wars. Let us think first of America. Here, a new epoch in the birth control movement has begun. Every place which cares for the health of a woman can now have a physician give birth control advice. Last month, several hundred physicians, scientists, and representatives from birth control clinics met in a two-day conference. There was discussion at one interesting session as to what a birth control center should be called, but I confess that I am in favor of the simple phrase, birth control. As you may know, I coined it more than 20 years ago, and it stuck. Emphasis should be placed on the words controlled. Controlling the size of the family does not mean that births should be limited to any arbitrary number. We control our time, our appetites, our incomes, our lives. It is simple common sense to control the number of children in a family in order that they may be cherished and loved, cared for properly, and raised to become useful and happy citizens. Children should be wanted. They should be conceived in marital love, born of the parents' conscious desire, and given of healthy bodies and sound minds. I believe that the bearing and nurture of children are not the aim and end of women's existence. I want to see women of the future liberated, spiritually free, conscious of her creative powers. I want to see her using them with vision and intelligence for greater happiness, for security, for peace. Motherhood must be conscious and voluntary before it can be creative. Then she can make the most of the greatest of all her gifts and responsibilities, the handling of the precious, mysterious gift of life. Thank you.